on.
Of our standard Wednesday night.
What just happened? Did you just start over? What?
We're going to see if both players can keep a 7 here. Green Black Delirium won the die roll and will be on the play. Both kept 7. Green Black Delirium may have been a stretch. I believe that's a plains.
Yeah, we might be a little.
And that is an island, so
All right,
not
so
on Delirium.
Neither green nor black. Here's a smuggler's copter.
So Smuggler's Copter on turn 2 is one of the best plays of this standard environment.
I would say it's Grimflare on turn 2.
Yeah, Copter on
Sorry.
turn
All
2 is way better
Here's
than
Crypt
Grimflare on turn
Breaker.
2.
Crewing
Crewing it up, looting it up.
is going to loot, and we're going to get a
Probably a land here. I see a
probably
few of them in his hand.
fiery temper discard.
Oh, Fiery Temper discard would be nice.
Oh no, there's a land.
Just a land. Scrap Heap Scrounger. These players' records are both 2-1. So there's not really a lot of 3-0 matchups in the final round, just because they're all splitting.
Yeah, they split. They go home. Get to bed early.
These are the guys that are fighting and scratching for every last cent of store credit.
Yeah, man.
Serious business.
Very serious business.
The payouts here are pretty good.
Yeah, it's 30 for 4-0
Mm-hmm.
and 20 for 3-1.
Right.
And so normally the 3-0s split and get 30 apiece? Or is it
25.
It's 30. Oh, right, 20, 25. Which is pretty good. It's
Yeah,
not
and
bad.
then these guys are playing for 20 in credit, which is pretty
For
strong.
15. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 20, but I don't know.
All right, I have no idea.
It's been a while since I played in one of these because I'm just
We're back here
back
talking
here
about
talking
it.
about it, chatting it out. This is not a good start for this blue-white flash deck. Most decks only run 6 islands, and he's got 3 of them. And you really need the double white. This is a pretty questionable 7,
Right.
all things said.
I'm sure Bobby's thinking about running into a spell queller here.
Yeah, it's definitely something you want to avoid, but I mean, you're just going to jam a creature here to crew your guy anyway.
And
So-
he's got an extra swamp in hand. It's not where you want to be.
Unless you get to pitch it. That just feels great.
Does it?
Yes, it does. Man, this is a misplay. So you play the guy, crew a copter. If he spell quellers it, you have the draw discard on a Fiery Temper here.
Sure.
But I think he's got a Voldarin Pariah here.
I think he's just going to discard this swamp.
I want to discard this Voldarin Pariah and cast it.
Oh, does that bad boy have madness?
Yeah, triple black madness.
All right, here it comes.
All right, Denalis. We're gonna throw out this rule right here. If your hashtag is over 3 words, you need to start capitalizing some letters, or it's just gibberish.
Absolutely. Tanalis obviously does not have an Instagram account. He's not keeping up with the Instagram honeys.
I feel sorry for you.
Yeah, me
Tanalis.
too. Me too. You gotta keep up with those Instagram honeys.
I actually don't keep up with Instagram honeys either.
Well, when you gotta keep up with the honeys, you get an Instagram to keep up with the honeys.
There's the white mana.
It's also a great place for memes.
The entire deck has now been activated.
Yeah, you can cast anything now.
We can cast Stasis Snare, Gideon, Avacyn. The world is our oyster.
World's an oyster?
Stasis Snare.
Alright, Stasis Snare targeting.
That's fine. That's fine. It's not great, but it's okay.
Right,
I'm going to make it anyway.
He responds by crewing the copter.
Pretty solid play, so he gets to block the 2-1 if it were feeling feisty.
Alright. Here is a...
Any creature here is really solid, but I don't know if he has one. I think he's got a Scrounger, but I may just be looking at a different card.
I see Fiery Temper, Prized Amalgam, Swamp, and another Fiery Temper.
So what I want to do is make a zombie, pitch a Fiery Temper, kill a guy, crew a guy, loot. Zombie
active.
Yeah.
Right.
Get in there.
Just going to discard the Prized Amalgam.
Prize Amalgam is a pretty solid one to discard.
Especially because I don't think this deck has any blue mana in it to cast the Prized Amalgam.
Sure. I don't see any way of getting it back yet either. But
here's a Swamp.
Oh well.
Man, this red black aggro deck has a... I mean, I looked at these lists this week as I was reading through Star City, and it plays a lot tighter than the list looks.
Sure.
And that's really what you want. You want a deck that that is a nice tight little package.
Are we doing phrasing? Can we do phrasing?
Boom. Anyway.
All right, so this is where things are going to start getting sick. He's got 5 mana up. You're playing against a blue-white flash deck. What's the first thing that comes to mind?
Avacyn.
We've got an answer.
Archangel Avacyn.
In our hand. For Avacyn.
You flash in this Voldaren Pariah and flip it?
Yeah.
Oh, man. So what I would do here is I want this Crypt Breaker to make a creature so that I can sacrifice one of those to the... Yeah, you just gotta madness this guy in. Yeah. So I want Crypt Breaker to make a zombie and then sacrifice 2 zombies in the Crypt Breaker in the copter, I guess?
So I want to make a zombie, sacrifice the 2 zombies and the copter that's not attacking.
Oh, sure, because you can crew the other.
Yeah. Crew it up.
Fantastic.
But Tyler, he values his Avacyn more than that.
So you would not play into it that way. There's a Declaration in Stone.
I, however, would have discarded just another card, like a land or something.
Yeah.
To try and bait the Avacyn out. But that may not be the most efficient play there.
Right. So here he's got him at 8. So if he crews both these copters and then uses these copters to fire off Fiery Tempers,
Sure.
Avacyn doesn't matter. I think
he's only got the one Fiery
I see
Temper.
one Fiery Temper for sure.
Sending them all.
Yep, everybody in.
Trigger 1. Yeah, just the one Fiery Temper.
he ever gets a Haunted Dead here, it's going to be a big deal.
Avacyn.
Yep. All right.
Fire
Shows
Temper
him
to the
Fire
dome.
Temper. Yeah, that wasn't the best start for Tyler.
Yeah, he was choked on white mana for a while. You need double white as soon as possible. Turn 3 is ideal. Turn 4 at the latest.
Sure.
But this is a little bit interesting. So against these aggro decks, this blue-white flash deck comes off of the Gideon. So Gideon's a little bit slower than what we want it to be doing.
Okay.
Just a little bit of a liability. So you're probably going to shave on those. I don't know what he has in the sideboard. A lot of times you'll see Blessed Alliance, which is strong. You don't want to go up in cost in your removal spells, but Blessed Alliance is much better.
Right where you want to be.
Much better here than the Stasis Snare.
Sure.
So you can shave there. Sometimes you'll bring in an extra Deccan Stone, which is pretty solid.
Yep.
Some of these lists run a Fumigate, which would be pretty solid.
Oh, yeah.
Some of
Fumigate would have
these
been great
lists-
on that board there.
Sure. Fragmentize is probably on his radar.
Okay.
Like-
Skywhaler shot?
No,
Not so much.
not so much.
That's more for the Delirium matchup.
If at all anymore.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's too bad.
it's really good. It's a really good card, a really good removal spell.
Yeah.
But paying 3 for a removal spell that's still situational, like it's not going to kill his Crypt Breaker. And that was the operative card that game.
Right.
I know I personally, for my blue-white flash deck, bring in Gisellas,
Okay.
which are pretty strong, obviously.
Nice.
Linvala as well.
Bobby's deck, I imagine he's already got a lot of cards that are very active in the matchup.
Yeah.
So the only thing I could think of is Transgress the Mind to like make sure the coast is clear. But even then, not that important.
Yeah, the card's okay if you have it on like 2, but you can't you can transgress to bait an Avacyn so it doesn't blow you out, but they're still gonna get their Avacyn.
Right.
So it's not like a lot of times it'll just be you cast this, transgress the mind, and you don't get a card for it.
Right. Okay.
I'd like to see some unlicensed disintegrations.
Okay.
The way you're gonna beat this blue-eyed flash deck if you're trying to go under it is just to tempo it out. If you let him get to like multiple Avacyn territory, then it's wrap.
The card I saw in the lists I was reading about this week was Bloodhall Priest.
Okay, yeah.
It could be a slightly different list here than the. He has the prized amalgams, which it does a very specific thing.
Yeah.
So it's a
very explosive.
It's very explosive, but it's not. I don't know. I feel like those lists were much more aggressive, with a lot more general, just like turn them sideways cards, and a lot less
Right.
specific interactions that explode onto the board.
Sure. I saw early on a lot of these red-black zombie aggro decks were running underneath the floorboards.
Oh, from beneath the floorboards.
Yeah, that one, from beneath the floorboards. Which is a pretty solid way to stem the tide from like aggro decks, but it served a dual purpose, and in these more mid-range grindy matchups, they gain you 3 life and let you draw cards with your Crypt Breaker.
Sure.
So you can go over the flash decks that way.
So as far as your question, Denals, Metallurgic Summons was a thing for a minute.
Yeah, so it
I
became
think
pretty
it had like
popular
a week 3 thing.
when Saffron Olive made a budget deck with it, and then a bunch of people played it because it looked fun, and it does look fun. But it just kind of falls short in the metagame.
Sure. Meaning that it doesn't beat Delirium.
Yeah, it wasn't good against Delirium. It wasn't good against Flash. Yeah, so I see a Bruna still in Tyler's sideboard, so I imagine we've got some Gisellas in here.
I have yet to see a meld happen on camera.
Sure. It doesn't happen often.
I know that during the early stages of the format, Ronnie Rittner, a player out of Cleveland, top aided an SCG with Bruna and Gisela in his deck. He was also playing Thalia's Lancers to put the combo together.
Sure. Seems pretty strong.
Yeah. That guy's great. If you guys ever get a chance to watch him play Magic, he's a good guy to watch. He's very smart.
Tyler He, self-proclaimed idiot.
Yeah.
Accidentally sideboarded in too few cards.
You're allowed to do that.
You're not allowed to do that.
Disagree. You're allowed to present 61 with a 14-card sideboard.
Yeah, but he sideboarded in too few cards.
Oh, so he's presenting less than 60.
Yeah, he was going to present 58, and you cannot do that.
Oh, no, that's not legal.
That is not even a little bit legal.
Yeah.
Frontier format is only a thing if you live in Japan.
It's...
And or really want to cast Siege Rhinos.
Right. From what I understand, the format is literally con standard.
Yeah. Some people started, like, around Theros and Cons, and they were really hip to this format.
Sure.
Because it's like everything they've ever known.
Right.
But it's not a very diverse format.
Right. I know it's somewhat affecting card prices. Like,
Okay.
like Mantis Rider is worth a quarter instead of a dime. Like, I'm dead serious.
Yeah,
Believe-
I don't think that format's ever something I'll get behind.
No, I really hope it's not a thing. Like, I don't want to have to keep up with, like, new...
I am all for a new format, but I want to go, like, further back than Modern.
Oh, interesting. All right. So, Tyler Reflector Maged the 1-drop. In response, Bobby crewed his copter. Tyler's resolving his copter loot, as it were. Smuggle. And then I think Bobby's actually going to consider blocking here. Oh, he does.
All day.
He blocks. Bobby gets to smuggle now.
Smuggle.
See, if Bobby had open mana here and he was going to block, okay. Discards the Scrap Heap Scrounger.
Is that okay? Legitimate question. Do you
No,
agree
I
with that
was-
play? You think it's okay?
Yeah, I'm thinking about, like... I
Playing
think
that land was not okay.
No? You want to play the swamp first?
I don't think he has another land, but I want a Cathartic Reunion first.
There's
But
another
he's
copter.
fine setting up another copter. I mean, so here's the thing with this copter. You're not going to attack.
You're not?
Not with this right now. I mean, you can sit back and block this Reflector Mage all day. You have plenty of time to set up a grindy game, which is what you're kind of built to do.
Yeah, I think of the two decks, Bobby's deck grinds a little better. See, now here's a Cathartic Reunion I can get behind. He's going to discard... See, alright.
He's going to discard nothing and like it.
No, see, what he should do here is he should Cathartic Reunion, discarding Prized Amalgam and any other creature.
Sure.
Try and find his 4th land, play the land and bring back the Scrap Heap Scrounger, and he gets the Prized Amalgam with it.
Oh, I agree.
Bobby has declared this turn to be super intense.
Which is code for, man, I messed this turn up.
Right? He's going for... Well, punted that one. However... Oh man, he's all right. He's turning on the gas here. Holy smokes!
This is just a train wreck at this point.
I just can't, I don't know what's happening. Um, he's gonna get one of these. See,
See, all right, come on now.
jeez, yeah, he really needed to start that turn with Cathartic Reunion. That's what he needed to do there.
I mean, you still fired off here. Just cast your spell, man.
Yeah, you just. I mean. Not playing things is a play something.
Preferably not this, but you know what? At this point,
All
whatever.
right, we're gonna scrounge the scrap heap.
All right, so
All
for
right.
those of you watching at home, if you're gonna do this, play the Scrap Heap Scrounger first in crew, first off, because it can't block anyway. Secondly, just cast the Cathartic Reunion. Don't try to get cute.
Yeah, you have the creature to get the value with it.
Yeah, and like you can dig for a fourth land. You can do literally anything you want.
I mean, going 3 cards deep is a long way to go. What do we have here? Is this a second Crypt Breaker?
Yeah.
See, I would have discarded this Crypt Breaker to activate my Scrap Heap Scrounger like a million minutes ago.
1 million minutes.
1 million minutes. All right, let's see if Bobby can start with the Scrap Heap or the Cathartic Reunion this time.
I don't know what he's trying to do.
Neither do I.
We're going to start with accruing the copter with the wrong creature. No, it's fine, because the Scrap Heap Scrounger can actually attack this turn.
Okay.
It's a joke. Alright, so we draw a land.
Discard this other prized amalgam.
Haunted Dead, I think, is the discard.
Alright. This makes me want to play this deck, is what it does. I want to ask Bobby for the.
Oh, we've got a judge call now.
We got a judge call.
We're calling a judge on ourselves.
We're in the middle of resolving the smuggler's copter.
So, I can't even begin to imagine what this judge call's about. Unless he just doesn't understand how the interaction between prized amalgam and, like, cards that come back from the graveyard work. But one would think, like, playing this deck that he would know.
Yeah. Alright, he wants to get this Voldaren Pariah into play. That's top priority.
Yeah, I mean, it makes his opponent sacrifice a bunch of creatures. If he sacrifices his board.
And the backside of the Voldaren Pariah is like a 6/6, right?
I think it's a 6/5. So I think the question was regarding the Voldaren Prize converted mana cost when you're madnessing it. Trying to play around spell queller.
6/5, right? So the answer is that the madness cost of a spell, or the cost of a spell, is always what's printed in the upper corner.
Correct.
And if X is in the upper corner, whatever X is going to be what was paid for it. Declaration in stone.
We're getting a clue.
That's good. Bobby needs a clue.
All right, let's see if we get a Cathartic Reunion this turn.
All right.
It's not as good as it has been the past couple turns.
No, here's a land.
So it makes me think that we're definitely going to cast it.
All right, I'm willing to bet that Bobby starts with crewing the copter. That's how every other turn is started.
That's
He
fine.
finds it very important.
I'm okay with crewing the copter here. It's important.
All right, cruise the copter. Discard.
Discard the Scrounger.
Discard.
Come on, you got 2 of them.
Yeah, like.
Please be Scrounger.
So here's
Please be a Scrounger. No.
Here's the thing about Scrap Heap Scrounger that you're gonna learn this game, is that like it's very hard to power many of them.
Yeah.
Powering one, super easy.
Sure.
overpowering.
So he can really pressure his
Two.
opponent's life total here by just casting both Scrap Heap Scroungers. And I'm honestly pretty fine with that.
Right. I think he's going to discard some things to get this Haunted Den back.
Yeah,
All right.
this is fine. We're in a
All right.
position where this is an okay play. Tyler's still only 1 white mana. And we talked about this last game.
Yeah.
You need 2.
This white anime he's got.
And that's game.
Yeah, Tyler can't overcome the many
So here's the thing.
scrapping scroungers.
It's really bad when you don't get 2 white mana.
Yes.
And you know that's a bad beat. You kept 7 cards.
Both times.
Unacceptable.
Yeah, just
You know you need it. Just small. You run most decks.
Would you have kept one of those hands if it had like a Thraben Inspector to like get some churn through a little bit of cards?
Not on 7. Like if I had Thraben and kept or Inspector Copter, I would.
Sure. You'll keep dual land, island, Thraben Inspector, Copter.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean that's definitely a solid one. But you get this mulligan to 6. You get to scry.
Right.
You run like 18 white sources. Usually 10 planes, 8 duels. The rest islands, and then like 1 Westvale Abbey.
Right.
So the odds of you seeing 2 are like incredibly high.
Sure.
So just mull. The deck's consistent.
Just reshuffle.
Yeah, just shuffle it up, draw 6, and scry, man.
All right. We'll catch you guys next week, Tuesday, 6:30 Eastern Standard Time. Hot
That's
modern
true.
action.
Hot modern action. We'll probably be on this Friday as well. I'm not going to be commentating. Taylor might be commentating with his boy, but I'll probably be playing standard.
Probably not.
Probably not.
I'm gonna see if I can get this red-black aggro deck together. I might play I might play the red-green energy deck for standard.
I might run back blue-white flash if I can get red-green Aetherworks Marvel built.
Oh sure.
I might show up and just ruin an F&M with it because everybody
ruined
just
them last night.
Well, I
last
mean,
week with.
That's every week for me. I just want to ruin it with a different deck this time.
Oh man, I'm proud of you. All right, we'll see you guys next.